Hello, welcome back to my Portugal to Brazil Paradox Interactive Historical Playthrough Mega Series. We are playing Crusader Kings 3. This is video number 4 for Portugal Brazil, and what better place to begin than right where we left off with it, which is the Black Death reaching the land. Now, it says August, but we just turned to September, so why do I need a court physician? Because mine apparently died. No, I've got one. Personal physician? Yeah, I've got one. Okay. Anyway, like I said in the last video, the Black Death did hit Portugal in September of 1348, which that now is. If you've never seen the Black Death on the map before, it is pretty terrifying, infecting everybody except these folks in here. Let's see how it kind of shakes things up, because the way we left, there was really no France before. Castille was too big. We're going to have to be going to war here against Castille. I'm going to just fast forward to the results of the Black Death, and then we'll get this video underway. Okay, and just like that, the Black Death is over, having killed practically nobody. Not historically accurate, or at least nobody important to me. So we're going to get started with the main topic of this video, which is going to be our relationship with Castile. So let's get into it. Castilian relations with Portugal really began to take a downhill slide. I think I mentioned this before, that with the Reconquista basically done, there were no more Muslims to attack, and so they're like, well, what are we gonna do? Let's fight each other. So Castile had always, well, I shouldn't say always, but for a long time seen Portugal as a vassal, and even a beginning in video number 1 of this series, we were a vassal of the Leon-Castile greater area. And it wasn't until, I think it was King Alfonso III basically declared the entire Kingdom of Portugal, which we did at the end of video number 2, yay us. But that didn't stop Castile from basically considering this to be their land. And Portugal also looked eastward to what lands they could occupy. So I'm gonna just pick a little bit of a fight here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna simulate this. I'm gonna vassalize this area of Salamanca, which is probably, where's that at? Right there, right? So we vassalize him, and when that is accepted, then we saw the little pop of the dynasty, or the domain go to the right. Well, not domain, the realm. Use the right terms. So that's one of the things that we're going to do. The other thing I'm going to do is be kind of picking fights with them for various reasons. And I'm also going to stop seeking to ally with them. I think I'm still allied with them. Yes, so we're going to stop that. Something that was also going on at this point is Castile and Portugal were heavily intermarried with each other. So let me see if I can see this. So my wife, Beatriz, who were her parents, yeah, there you go. So I'm married to the daughter of the King of Castile. And I'm sure that happens all over the place. Let's see. So do I have children? I have a daughter who is married to, okay, that's probably a matrilineal marriage that I did for stats. What about my other daughter here? Is betrothed to somebody from Brittany. Okay. So that's not quite the same. But anyway, you get the point. A lot of intermarriage going on between Portugal and... So accordingly, also, people had claims all over the place. I can claim to be the King of Castile, you can claim to be the King of Portugal, etc., etc. So we're going to explore that a little bit more. This king here is an Alfonso V. It should be Alfonso IV, I believe, whose son should have been Pedro the First, but Pedro died. So I've got a new Alfonso, who would be Alfonso the Sixth, I guess, and then another one that I renamed Pedro because I'm trying to keep names intact. So we're going to go for Pedro. Is it pronounced Pedro? I'm not really sure about that. So I've been trying for some Portuguese pronunciations. I'm sure I'm probably screwing it up. Please correct me. I'm all about good pronunciation. I'm going to say Pedro for now, but until somebody corrects me, I'd appreciate that. So let me just highlight a couple things. One, we did move the capital of Portugal to Lisbon, which is historically accurate. I moved it too late, but I moved it, so there you go. I think we also need to look at some battles here in Morocco. I thought that occurred at a certain point. I'm going to look that up a little bit more. But other than that, let's fast forward to succession. Now, succession hasn't occurred yet. In fact, I'm working on changing succession to primogeniture. Got to clean up some ugly vassals. Get rid of this one here. She's never gonna... But because she revolted against me already, I can revoke her titles again, and I'm doing battle against her. However, Castille has declared war on me to take back this county that I just vassalized. It's a little bit too early. And the number said they had 69,000 or something like that. And I'm not seeing that as that big of a challenge. I don't know where they're getting all those troops from. I mean, I think it might have counted his allies as me. Because, I mean, he must have broken a truce to do this because we've been allied. I thought I showed it before. I don't even know if we still are. I'm assuming not, given that he declared war on me. Anyway, but this is a little historically out of time, but it's still fairly historically accurate. That this back and forth. So it's kind of fun to see that. I did one practice battle against him already where it looked like I was going to do well, and then this huge swarm of troops came in. I don't know where they came from, that miraculous 69,000 or whatever, and kind of wiped me out and killed my son, and I was kind of whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish this battle down here against this gal and basically use her imprisonment to revoke her... What are we doing? You're at war with her. Oh, yeah, I haven't ended the war yet. There we go. And so we'll go ahead and just... Where's she at? There we go. Revoke her title. Boom. Okay, and then basically my vassal list. I mean, this isn't historical. This is just sort of Crusader Kings mechanics, right? But I don't know. Sometimes people say they want to see this stuff, so, you know, okay. Vassals are looking kind of grumpy. I think this guy, I can give him something else, a different title. And let's go ahead and give him Monterrey. So that makes him happy. I don't know who this guy is, why all of a sudden he just popped in. But I think the last time what I did is go, like, here's this healing water. Okay, so that should work out. And then, where are we at? This is the only guy who's upset, and we'll just give him money. Doink. So then I can go ahead and change to primogeniture, and bada bing, everything's good. Now basically, only one person inherits my titles, and that's my heir, which is nice. I'll go ahead and clean up all these claims and stuff later. As far as whether or not I want to go up and do battle with these people, I kind of don't. It's just too risky. I don't know, it'd be kind of fun to see again what would happen. Now, we are going to do a big battle against Castille at the end of this video. A very famous battle, which has a really tough Portuguese pronunciation. I think it's Aljubarrota. I think if I screwed that up, you will let me know, hopefully. Aljubarrota, double R's, RR, pronounced like ha in Portuguese, which is different for me. So the very famous Battle of Aljubarrota, I will dig in against Castille, but for now I'm going to wimp out and not do it and just basically let them take that back up there because it's not even really part of the Kingdom of Portugal anyway. Okay, so succession occurred. I'll be playing allegedly as Alfonso VI, not historically accurate. But It's hard. I basically let myself die of smallpox, which is fine. Also, again, not historically accurate. Have kind of a lot to clean up here, so let me take a quick pause and figure out how I'm going to do this. Now, in theory, this should be... Who should this be? Either Pedro the First, or Fernando. I think I'm supposed to be Pedro. Let's take a look. I'm going to go check my Wikipedia. Okay, so Pedro's reign ended in 1367. We're now at 1369. He had a son, his only legitimate son, who looks like he's going to die. Maybe. Who's my physician here? Okay, I get my father's excellent physician. Yeah, we can say one day I'll be like you, no problem. Okay, there's a lot to go through. I need to reconsult my notes here. Hope that people don't die. I'm going to name every kid I have Fernando, if that's the case. But let me look that up. Let's get back to it, because we need to do some dynastic gymnastics at this point that are going to be a major part of this video, and hopefully a real war with Castille. And a big part of those gymnastics are going to involve, okay, this is good, my ability to seduce the young ladies. So Pedro, like I said, had an heir, Fernando. There we go. But it wasn't Fernando who ended up taking over the Kingdom of Portugal. It was Pedro's bastard son, João. So we need to produce a bastard. I'm going to have a tough time with this, not the producing a bastard part. That's probably pretty easy. What I'm going to have a tough time with is João was put forward as the leader of Lisbon when, so let's go through this, when Fernando, his daughter, Beatriz, was wed to the King of Castile and became ultimately the heir to the Kingdom of Portugal. So there was a huge concern there. And what that was, and this is the big question, is should the Kingdom of Castile be allowed to basically take over and contain the entire Kingdom of Portugal, in which case there's a chance that Portugal would cease to exist as an independent entity, because this daughter, who doesn't exist yet, again, it would be Fernando's daughter, would have been married to Castile, and as even in the game, you would know that would mean that their heir would own both kingdoms, or have claims to both kingdoms. And so what came forward was Pedro's bastard son, which would have been Beatriz's, well, half-uncle, João, was put forward, even though he was a bastard, as being a more desirable heir to the Kingdom of Portugal. And that is what happened. So how to simulate that is going to be really tough, because bastards cannot inherit claims, which sucks. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I could legitimize him, but what I'm going to do is try to seduce somebody in Castile to produce this bastard that I'm talking about. We need to get somebody who is fertile and can produce children. 23. I like this. I like this a lot. But what did it say? She is gay. Okay, well that's possibly not going to work too well. But let's try it anyway. You never know. Maybe I can flip her. Alright. Do we have... Is not attracted to men. Ooh, that is not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to search around for somebody I can seduce and hopefully produce my bastard with. Now, in theory, it was a Galician noble. Well, that was... Actually, that's not true. Fernando, after his wife died, married a Galician noble named Inés de Castro, forgive me if I'm pronouncing these things wrong, and had more kids, but that's not who produced the bastard heir. So I'm gonna look around, and we're gonna do a seduction and try and produce a bastard child. So I may have found somebody. It's not Castille, but Navarra. And it's the king's wife. Well, she's betrothed. She's very young. I'm not super proud of that, but at the same time, she's just turned 16, and so I think we can take an interest in her. Let's just put it that way. Let's see what we got. Good. All right. So let's give it a shot. Ooh, scheme discovered. That's what I get for trying to seduce a 16-year-old girl, huh? Sorry, YouTubers. It's Crusader Kings. There's a lot of weirdness going on here. And probably what I should do is, try and gain better skills and perks and stuff like that. I'll keep trying. Maybe somebody will try to seduce me, except for I'm King Alfonso VI the Hideous. So I think that's kind of getting in the way of my chances here. Oh, well, it still continued on. So I thought that would stop it, but we'll see. Okay, my seduce failed, but somebody else is moving in on me, trying to seduce me. My problem is she's 40 years old, and I don't think she's going to be able to give me a child. But let's go ahead and see what we can do. You never know, I suppose. Maybe it'll happen. So, trying again to produce an illegitimate bastard child at this point that will hopefully be a boy, and we can name João as the future king of Portugal. I wasn't able to find anybody to seduce for a target, so I did it the old-fashioned way and hired a courtier to become my wet nurse, and voila, I have a lover. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Now, not quite historically accurate. Well, actually, kind of. Castille is waging war against me again to recover their territory, which that is actually pretty historically accurate. They could go after this one here. What is it, Salamanca? Yep. And then Astorga. I don't know if I pronounced that properly. I'm sorry. I went up and fought them before and did pretty well and was able to kind of like white piece them out from it. Now I think I'm just going to let them have it, which is fine. Especially because I don't understand this. This dude that I have a hook on is in a scheme against me, and all of my counselors, literally all three of these people, are trying to put this dude up on the throne of Portugal. They all have massively positive, so I don't really know what's going to go on. I think they're just going to declare, and that's fine. I can probably defeat them. But let's see what's going to happen here. If I just go ahead and surrender this, what's going to happen? He's going to take this title. Let's just go ahead and surrender it, right? Okay. Ta-da! Okay, and they get it back, which is kind of what they were trying to do, and that's fine. And I had said earlier that these border skirmishes happened a lot between Castile and Portugal, and we're going to go after one big one as the final portion of this video, if I can produce my bastard heir. So in the meantime, my 49-year-old wife just will not die, is gay, and has given me like a gazillion kids. So that's unfortunately going to be really difficult with what I'm trying to do historically. Let's move on. I'm not going to show you the war with my vassals because there's really no historical interest in it. Okay, it looks like my efforts may have paid off. The most recent gal that I have become involved with got pregnant, and so we'll see if she has a son that I can name João. At that point, I have no idea what I'm going to do because the line of succession for the Kingdom of Portugal. Let me back off of this. I'm just helping my ally England here. The line of succession for the Kingdom of Portugal is kind of brutal. Well, not too bad. But like I said, a bastard child cannot inherit, so I'd have to legitimize him, which I think is easy. I've never done it before. So anyway, that's good news. Let's hope he doesn't get killed by plague or a horse or something like that. And in the meantime, I'm helping England. I think I did mention it, that that Portugal drew close ties with England, whereas Castille drew close ties with France, which is not really France anymore. So whoever this Valois is, let's go back there. I don't know why I keep doing that. They're the ones that I'm attacking because they're attacking England, and so I'm just drawn in to a war with my ally, and so it looks like they're gonna come visit me, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm mostly focused on that illegitimate child, so I'll bring it back in for that. Okay, second time. First I had an illegitimate daughter, and then her mother died from trying to treat herself from unknown medical causes. Now I have an illegitimate son, which is good from a historical perspective. I think what I'm going to do is, I guess, expose it and just claim the child. Okay. So now everyone knows. Okay, Infante, you are his new father, became a member of House Robertine Lisboa. Okay, again, that comes way back from Alfonso Enrique and the Burgundian dynasty. We're going to try and get rid of that this episode. So the very first thing I want to do is change his name. Alright, and we're... oh gosh. And of my bastard club-footed child. Awesome. Alright, so we should be able to change his name to João. A much better name, and more historically accurate. Now, what I really want to do is turn this child into the next king and the next player. Alright, so we can declare him to be legitimized. And I guess it just happens? Okay. All of my non-bastard adult children who dislike the bastard lose 25 opinion to me. Alright, fine. Welcome to the family, João. Now, what I need to do is try and have him be the next in line. So one of the things I think I can do is set him as my favorite. Fine. And let's just go a couple more years, and let's see if we can keep him alive. Now, a trick I could pull to have João be the next king, because I'm already at Primogeniture, is I can switch it. And we can go to Ultimogeniture. No. Here. Which is the youngest child inherits all your titles. Kind of weird, but let's try it. Alright, pass the law. Alright, boom, there it is. So, the next king of Portugal would indeed be João. This is not historically accurate. This is not how it happened. Really how it happened was, like I said earlier, the nobles and the people put forward João as the only son of Pedro who was around and would prevent Castille from basically inheriting all of Portugal through Pedro Fernando's daughter Beatriz. So again, kind of a big soap opera. If I got that wrong, somebody correct me, please. But I think that that's right. So this is not how it happened. So this little kid, I'm going to have to train him up. And I really hope... What is this? Oh, I really hope that I can do a martial on him, because one of the final things that we're going to need to do for this video is fight Castille. And I could really use some power there. Alright, so let's fast forward to that. Just to get things rolling here, kind of, because it is taking forever, and things aren't really going the way that I want them to go with politics. I'm going to fight this war again against this Burgundian who really wants to take all of my artifacts from me. That is not historically accurate. What I want to do, I mean, I have to just basically accept it anyway. What I want to do, however, is fight him and hopefully beat him. So let's take a look at this. It showed that he had a bunch of allies. They're not here. I've already actually fought this guy once and beat him. And then I just declared white peace on him because I didn't want to keep fighting anymore. But we're going to do this anyway. Because instead of fighting Burgundy, we should be fighting Castille. But Castille is not in a good place. And also time is kind of ticking along. And I'm working to get King João on the throne. We're doing okay, still alive, he's 10 years old with him and his club feet. But I think by the time this comes, we're going to be done. And that's probably for a good thing. There's only one thing at the end of this that we're going to do, but we're going to focus on this fight for just a minute. And the history behind this is that João was put up as the person to defend against Castille. So again, we're going to pretend Burgundy is Castille, all right? And we're going to defend against them. And that is indeed what happened, that Castille attacked into Portugal and were ultimately repelled. Now, like I said, Portugal was allied to England at the time. They're not fighting, so I'm going to go ahead and call them in. I've got lots of allies. That's nice. We'll go ahead and call in England at least. This guy was just an ally through marriage. Maybe I'll call him in. Anyway, there was a plan for England to land, I think, in Brittany and take France, while Portugal was going to take Castile. And so it was going to be England and Portugal versus France and Castile. And this massive force invaded Portugal through Castile. And a very famous battle was fought, the Battle of Aljubarrota. And, Aljubarrota, there's no L. And Portugal, facing against major odds, not in their favor, huge numbers against them, won. With a massive advantage given to them in two ways. One was a very powerful marshal, way more powerful than this guy, unfortunately, by the name of Nuno Álvares Pereira, who set up all kinds of like tricks and ditches, and it was just like a military genius. In addition to that, it was Portugal's crossbows that really won the day. And so I've been building up these crossbows. I have 1, 2, 3 full men-at-arms, and every place that these guys are stationed is maximum benefit with maximum upgrades as far as I can go to archer damage. So I'm doing as much as I can to historically represent the Battle of Aljubarrota and a majorly one-sided victory. So, I'm going to take to the field and let's see what we can do. One thing I might be able to do to tip the odds even further in my favor is I've got a daughter, a 30-year-old daughter, who can marry, I think. Let's try and get this dude. Matrilineal marriage, sorted by Marshall. Henry, he's from England, so there's somewhat symbolic. Again, it's not any Nuno Alvares Pereira, unfortunately. That would be cool. But if I get him over on my side, then in theory, he'll become a march. Or a march, I'm sorry, I'm not, he'll become a knight. What's this? Whatever. Okay. Alright, England's gonna join me. Again, that's not historically accurate. I'm just trying to make sure that I win the battle. And let's look at and see my homie here. Did he join me? Okay, we got... Oh, that's prowess, though. I could really use... Alright, what happened? Where'd he go? Where's the girl? You, where are you? He's here. Okay. Can I put him as my marshal? I can. Okay. Alright, so he's a knight. Alright, good. That's exactly what I want. Alright, let's draw them in. Now, what I'm going to do is try to draw them into a location where I can jump out at them and take them, which is really kind of what happens. So, let's fast forward to that. Okay, we've got our first invader. Now, the Battle of Aljubarrota happened somewhere in this area. Leiria was near, it was in this, somewhere around here. This is about where it happened. Now this guy is probably going to move to Elvas. And let's take a shot at this. So what I can do is get everybody set up right there. Right, he's coming in. Let's see what happens if I just raise. Oh, oops. So I'm going to raise, right, and he's going to go plop and land right on top of him, which is not what I wanted to happen. Now, he is on top of my dude, my main guy, so all I need to do is jump on in here, and this battle is going to drastically turn in my favor. Well, I don't know about drastically. This is not quite the massive victory that I was hoping for. Okay. So that's one piece of it. Now, basically, if I form up and go march on this dude, because he just debarked, then we'll see. Of course, he's going to run. Alright, let's see if I can catch him. Come on. Come on, come on. I gotcha. Alright. Looking good. That's the kind of mass. Did you see that big bonus? That big, huge plus 89? Alright, so far, we've done pretty well at facing these people off. England's coming in. Fine. Let's see what else we can do. I'm probably going to need to just wait around for more people to invade. It was a defensive battle. They did not invade. Portugal did not invade. So let's see what we can do. Okay, more invaders coming in. I'm going to see how far they go. Or if they do go. Looks like they're just going to sit up there. Alright, let's go get them. Obviously, this is not a one-sided battle on their, against me. Like, I'm, easily going to crush them. What I'm looking for... Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, come on in, come on in, come on. That's right. There we go. There we go. England's got to move in. There we go. Okay. Even though that didn't create the huge, massive upset score-wise that I was hoping for, good enough. Okay, I tricked them, I duped them, I got them to come in when they shouldn't have, and we totally wasted them. So, I'm going to go ahead and just keep mopping up this mess. And we're going to consider the Battle of Aljubarrota to have been somewhat poorly simulated, but, you know, that's sometimes the best you can get. At last, King Alfonso VI is dead, and King João is now the King of Portugal, still a young man, so we're going to have to deal with regency for a while, which sucks. Again, this is not how it happened, but I'm sick of saying that. There's one more thing that we're going to do before I cut this and we flip to Europa Universalis. We're going to do this a little bit early, but around 1415, Portugal began to look further south and across the sea towards territories that they could take in North Africa. And specifically in 1415, they invaded Ceuta. We're going to do that. In order to do it, I need a claim. So I'm going to immediately start forging a claim on the county of Ceuta. 23 months, that's fine. Hopefully when, well, how many more until we're old enough? 4 more years. Okay, we'll see. Let's fast forward to that, and we will take Ceuta. Now, we should have taken it from Muslims, but I don't see a single Muslim on the map anymore, to be honest with you. Let's see. Yeah, okay, well, there's some down here and over here. But Catholicism and Christianity are running, well, Catholicism and Orthodox Christianity are going crazy. So anyway, let's keep going to the siege of Ceuta. Okay, while I wait for plague to finish ravaging my land, I've got 3 apocalyptic plagues all ready to come and bless me. I'm in seclusion. One of the things I want to do is we're going to change the dynasty because well, we should. Where do we do that at? There we go. Okay. So, João was from the house of Avis. And so, let's just change it to Avis. Does that work? Pretty sure. There we go. Alright, so that's keeping up with historical accuracy. We just finished getting our claim on Ceuta. So I should be able to go to war for that. I'm not going to do it until the plague's gone. That's good. We should be able to take that pretty easily. So let's fast forward. Okay, let's get this underway. It's time to conduct the final act. The plague is gone. João is king. And it's time to get the final act of this video up and going. And so what we are going to do is we are going to take Ceuta. Let's do this. County, woohoo. Okay, so we're going to go to war. Now, this is we're a little bit premature. We're 8 years too soon. This happened in 1415. And the expedition was actually launched from right here in Lagos. And they proceeded from there to row their boats and head on over. So I could just walk down there, but meh, let's go for historical accuracy's sake and send everybody over. Now, I don't know. I think João might have been at the head of this. At least rode with his men. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So let's see if we can do that. We're commanding another army. There we are. Alright, let's go ahead and move on over. And we'll get everybody together. And let's go. So let's see if we can head over. I thought Ceuta would be a city. But it's looking like not. Alright, come on. It's the county. There we go. Okay, so it's... Oh, it's just right there. So if I do this... Yeah, he's going to walk. Alright, we don't want to do that. We're going to spend the money and then swim. Now, that could cause us some penalties. But I say we should take it for history. And let's see what happens. Once we take this, we are going to end it and switch over to... Oh, I can still win this war. Aha! Nobody expects the Portuguese invasion of Ceuta. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take this entire county. Might as well leave the cameras running the entire time. Tell you what, go ahead and speed it up. And because we are almost done. Is this the entire... I think that might have been the entire county. Is it? It is. Yep, that's it. Okay, where'd everybody go? Nobody wants to party anymore. Let's snoop them out. Where'd they go? No, yes, no. You know what? They probably went, ooh, all the way around. I'll tell you what, we don't need to win the war. We've been playing this for a long time. We went ahead and, well, you know what? Let's fast forward. I want to take it. I want to see it say Portugal. Okay, there we go. Boom. Okay. Spain. Let's see it. There it is, Portugal. You see it right there? All right, now let's compare that because we are going to switch over to Europa Universalis. Let's see how close it looks. So one of the very first things that you'll notice has nothing to do with Portugal, and that is that Castille is actually pretty well put together. Now, if we flip back, you'll see that Castille is nowhere near put together. And I can scroll around. All right, let's go back to EU4. I can scroll around, and like basically like France is France, and England is England, and it's not all jacked up like it was previously. Also, Aragon is quite a bit more Aragonish than it was in Crusader Kings. But one of the things that I was really happy to see is Ceuta. So we did it. That was the very last thing that we did. And I'm going to end it. This is the end of the Crusader Kings 3 segment of the Portugal-to-Brazil Historical Paradox Interactive Mega Series. Thank you so much for watching Crusader Kings. We're going to fast forward to EU4. You can kind of see we're here already. And you can go ahead and watch my next segment when it comes out. And thank you for watching Crusader Kings. We're going to keep on going all the way to Brazil. I'll see you there.